So I have an uncle who is part of the LGBTQ community. And I remember we were having a discussion about pornography. And he was like, "Oh, I could never watch two guys." And I'm like, but you, he's like, "No, I watch straight porn." He's like, watching two guys, it doesn't do it for me. So that just thinking about it like that makes sense. You got to think about the millions of people who will say, after I'm doing the deed, I'm disgusted at what I watched to get there.
Right.
And that's because it's this gets me off, but regularly, ugh. You see what I mean?
So I'm gonna reverse engineer that.
Okay.
So if my wife went through my phone and found gay porn, there's no explanation for that other than like, well, shit, that's babe. Like, okay, here's the explanation. My wife goes through my phone, she finds gay porn, and I'm saying, oh, babe, don't worry about that. That just get me off sometime. I just, that's just what I masturbate to. The fuck no. No. Straight men that have sex with men, to me, it automatically on its surface is an oxymoron. I have not been convinced otherwise. However, I know, Chef, you could be somewhat more open-minded. You get more liberal than us sometimes. So usually if you can't rock with it, can't nobody rock with it. I feel like if Chef can't, and who's our other sister that be on here with us sometimes? Angela. Bessie and Angela. But y'all three, when y'all say it's a no-go, I am convinced it's a no-go. Here this dude go. Hold on, bro. Hold on, wait a minute. You said you were finna take a bath. You said you were finna take a bath.
I did.
Yeah, that was like 2 minutes ago.
Nigga, 15 minutes ago.
That wasn't no 2 minutes, bro. We only been on for 2 minutes, boy. Your mustache, boy. Lift your arms up. Put your arms up put your arm up to there. I don't want Chefy, see that nigga fresh.
What I'm gonna do?
Okay, first of all, don't do that. Don't do that shit. You showed up. You showed up right in time for that little shimmy. So this topic, yeah. So you ain't gonna like this one. This topic, straight men that have sex with men. Since you want to come in here shimmying. He said, "Come on."
Oh no.
I know. So I got a video again. I watched this video. I really tried to open my mind, be less biased, but I feel like this is a gay man having a conversation with a woman, and there's no straight man in the conversation. And to me, it's unfair for anybody to have a conversation about what straight men are doing without straight men participating in the conversation. And what me and Sheffy were talking about earlier is that a lot of straight men won't sit down because we'll dismiss it. And that's true. I believe that. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this video. It's a long video. Y'all tell me when to stop. I know y'all going to tell me when to stop because y'all going to hear some bullshit like I did earlier. So you're ready for this one here.
Welcome to the Modern Intimacy Podcast, a show about mental health, sex, relationships, education and tips, and those private things we need to talk about more publicly without restrictions. I'm your host, Dr. Kate Balistreri. A licensed psychologist, certified sex therapist, packed couples therapist, and sex addiction therapist, I know that mental health is directly tied to the quality of our relationships and our sex lives. I'm passionate in my desire to smash stigmas and shine a light on societal issues that may be negatively affecting our lives, relationships, and sexuality. During this podcast, I will also give you practical answers and insights to questions you've been wondering about. We should all have fulfilled, happy lives, and we get there by erasing shame, consciously digging deeper, building healthy connections, and by getting curious together. Thanks for joining me. Let's get started. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Modern Intimacy Podcast. Today, I want to start by reading a question that one of our listeners sent in. And just a reminder, please send us your questions and we're happy to answer them on the show when we can. So this question comes from a woman who says, my husband and I are in an open relationship, but a couple of days ago, my gay bestie told me he saw my husband on Grindr. This blew my mind because my husband has always said he's straight. So how can that be if he's having sex with men? Can he really be straight, or is he bi or gay? And is there anything wrong with what's happening here? So to answer this question, I wanted to bring on a very special guest and dear friend, Dr. Joe Court. Dr. Court runs this amazing practice in Michigan, and he's the author of the book, Is My Husband Gay, Bi, or Straight? This question comes up a lot about whether or not straight men can have sex with men and still be considered straight. So I wanted to bring you on, and I'm so grateful for you being here today so we can answer this question.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
When you hear this question, I'm so curious about the first place that your mind goes when someone's asking you this question of, can straight men actually have sex with men?
It goes to, I guess in my mind, it's kind of a ludicrous question because straight women are sexual with other women all the time. We even have a word for women in college, the term lugs, lesbian until graduation. And so everyone understands that, and she graduates and she's, being playful with it. But when it's men, it's like there's no wiggle room. This is what I always say. When a man has one non-heterosexual thought, he's stigmatized. When a woman has one non-heterosexual thought, she's fetishized. Both are problematic, but she gets a little room, he doesn't.
She gets a little room because the idea of her sexuality is that it still caters to the male gaze. Whereas when a man has one non-heterosexual experience with another man, immediately that does what?
It produces a disgust response. And that disgust response, it takes away his heterosexual identity for both men and women. I'm really surprised at how many women, I think women get scared. They get scared because it might mean that he's really gay and I'm wrong and they're going to lose everything.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. There also are a lot of undertones of homophobia in why men are so stigmatized. And
Jump on out there, Frank. Jump on out there.
Next video.
No, you can tough it out. Tough it out.
Okay.
We are the straight men. See, that's the problem. We don't have this. We're allowing that's a woman and a gay man having this conversation. If us straight men aren't going to get into this and speak up on the behalf of the straight population,
I ain't saying that we can't speak up on it or no. We can end the video. We can start speaking up on it.
Wait, but they got a lot of stuff, but we gotta debunk everything they finna say, bro. We gotta fight it.
Here's the issue I have already, though.
Okay,
he was talking about having engagement in the past, but the question wasn't talking about the past. The question is talking about the now.
There you go.
So those two things don't compute, baby.
Yeah. And I guess what he's trying to do is the stigma. He's trying to say, okay, men are stigmatized, women are fetishized. We can acknowledge that does exist. There is a double standard. Sure. We can openly acknowledge that. But
both of them kind of gross.
But I'm with you. At least he needs to address what this woman is actually going through. Her male best friend who's gay said that her husband is on a gay sex dating app. You got to address that shit. I think he's trying to go around the world.
Yeah, he is. And let me clarify what I meant by gross. I'm not meaning being homosexual or anything that's gross. I'm meaning the whole undercover thing. I think is gross.
Yeah.
Because that's on both sides. I don't care if it's woman, female, whatever. If you're gonna be who you are, just be who you are. But we can get back in. It stresses me out a little bit though, because it's like
I'm telling you,
especially that whole college thing, lesbian until graduated. That must be that don't happen. Where they do that at? I've never heard that in my life.
No, white people.
I've heard it before. I've
never heard it at a black school before. I went to a PWI. I never heard that before. Yeah. So it's got to be in certain circles because I'm not familiar with that at all, baby. Frank said it was some hoes. I mean,
Man,
Go
the
ahead,
thing
Frank.
is that there's no science to it. It just is what it is. I don't care how you try to bring psychology or whatever. It's not even a double standard. It just is what it is. We don't operate the same. We don't think the same. We don't share the same perspective because we live two different realities. It's just different. Accept that.
They don't.
That's all it is to it.
They don't know. They don't want to accept this. What they want to teach us is that as straight men, we got to accept that you can be straight and have sex with men.
Okay.
Well, I mean, okay. I don't know if we can watch more of this because I'm curious. I'm kind of curious, but at the same time, I'm not.
I'm telling you, we got to jump into it.
Yeah, I already know where it's going.
Okay, video chat.
3 minutes in. 3 minutes in, y'all throwing haymakers. Y'all,
because this woman.
You know, I'm with you when you're right, but some of this is like,
you like they tripping. Yeah, listen, I thought they was tripping too.
I'm the pansexual one here.
Yeah. So, that's why I'm like, if Sheffy,
maybe y'all giving me pause.
I'm like, if Sheffy gonna give it pause, then it need to be paused. But hey, man, Frank, sit back. You know what I'm saying? Just you know, he's bullshit.
I'm about to
there
go to my
are much greater
tonight.
consequences for men in terms of how they relate to their masculinity if they are to have more fluid sexual experiences. So I'm curious about how you help men make sense of this and how you help their partners make sense of kind of what they're sitting with in terms of all of these layers of sexual experience.
That's such a great way to say it. There's so many layers. The layer I start with is that there's a difference between your sexual orientation and your erotic orientation. Your sexual orientation is to whom you're attracted to in terms of gender, non-binary, multiple gender. But your erotic orientation are the things that get you off, the things that bring you to orgasm. And so lots of people erotically get turned on by things they would never want in real life, do in real life, might discuss them in real life. But in the erotic zone, it's and it may even go against the way they morally believe, religiously believe. And so for a lot of the men that come to me that are straight, this is an erotic situation. It's not an attraction to men.
That makes a lot of sense to me, right? But let's break that down a little bit further. How can something be a part of someone's erotic orientation, but not in?
Yo, listen, bro. So that's the part so you finna tell me you a straight man. Forget your attraction. You have an erotic draw to anything male, and that's supposed to be like, oh well, that's all that is. I don't give a fuck how you frame it.
I agree with him on that.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Chef,
I'll explain to you why. Why.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I have an uncle who is part of the LGBTQ community. And I remember we were having a discussion about pornography. And he was like, oh, I could never watch two guys. And I'm like, but you, he's like, no, I watch straight porn. He's like, watching two guys, it doesn't do it for me. So that just thinking about it like that makes sense. You got to think about the millions of people who will say, after I'm doing the deed, I'm disgusted at what I watched to get there.
Right.
And that's because it's this gets me off, but regularly, ugh. You see what I mean?
So I'm gonna reverse engineer that.
Okay.
As a straight man, there's no version of reality where two dudes playing tummy sticks, sword fighting, bottoming, topping, however you making a pancake, whatever they do.
That?
I don't know what it is. I just a two body smashing, revert. What two dudes in any capacity, physically doing something romantically, sexually, does nothing. It's a look away. I don't want to see that. It's why is that on? So if that was to be my erotic excitement, I would then question what the hell I have going on. Because why does anything with another man get me, like men on men? Why does man on man? Why would man on man? So if my wife went through my phone and found gay porn, there's no explanation for that other than like, well, shit, that's babe. Like, okay, here's the explanation. My wife goes through my phone, she finds gay porn, and I'm saying, oh, babe, don't worry about that. That just get me off sometime. I just, that's just what I masturbate to. The fuck no. No. Now, and I don't care that it's reversed. That if I went through her phone and I seen two women and I'm like, oh, well, babe, why are you watching that? I don't know. Something is just more sexy about two women. I wouldn't feel no way bothered by it because our brains operate even sexually different. So as a straight man, no, if one of my partners, if I came over to this dude's house, he chilling, you go to Frank's house, Frank got his drawing table set up, he got a beer, he chilling, he doing the thing. Oh man, come on in. And on the big screen, it's two dudes doing their thing, and he just sitting there drawing and drinking a beer. And I'm like, bro, I'm like, bro, did I interrupt something? I can leave. I can go. And he be like, nah, bro, sit on down.
Just my inspiration.
I'm like, he gonna sit there next to you with his shirt off.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like what's his name? like Chris Tucker when he was in there with Faison Love in that jail cell. He said, "Boy, you got your shirt off." No,
I mean,
I don't care.
It makes sense, but not at the same time. I mean, I don't know. There are many things you can be erotically attracted to versus overall attraction. Does that apply in this case? I can't say yes or no.
No,
but I know. There are where it's some things that get you off that you would never do in real life.
So I dated a sister. And she was bisexual. And she said that she was into porn, gay men porn. And I was like, why? And she explained it. She said because a man getting another man to submit is hot to me. She said, we can't get y'all to submit like that. Like she said, it's just the domination. And she like, and the way she explained it, I couldn't wrap my brain around it, but I knew that was something that I couldn't get into it. But she has an attraction for men anyway. So however that works, it works. I have an attraction for women. And so if I find two women doing their thing, I'm not gay, but I find two gay women doing their thing, all right, that still works. There's no reality where I enjoy seeing men naked and bumping uglies where it's okay. And that's not some sort of homosexual fixation. So for them to try to take that and divide it where there's an erotic and then there's an attraction and you can say, stop playing with people. Because there's some woman that's going, I guarantee you there's women that like, you know what, okay, that makes sense. And then
it does make sense. Blowed out. It doesn't change how I feel about it, but it makes sense.
Because it's no different in the minds of a straight man. Our erotic attraction and our sexual attraction is still based around women. Men and men don't get to come into that space. So whatever a straight man is thinking and wanting to do, no matter how weird and perverse, it always includes his interaction with a woman. It never includes him interacting with a man. The moment it includes him interacting with a man and desiring that and fantasizing over that,
okay.
I ain't saying you're gay. I'm saying you something other than straight. You something other than straight.
Man, these folks are trying to make people as retarded as they are. Simple as that. That's all it is. Just the dumbest mess, man. It's like they trying to separate the yolk from the egg white and making its own thing. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But it doesn't work in this realm. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't keep on splitting the atom.
I mean, you can't.
And not create something that's perverse. I'm talking about the ideology.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
To me, the ideology is perverse. Like you cannot say, well, I'm just attracted to, no, you know what? I'm not even attracted to that, but I like it. It doesn't make sense. You watch this and it made me tingle inside, but I can't engage in it because how does that make sense?
Something that's something other than straight.
Okay, so here's a question. Because you just said a second ago that you know, it's always a straight man is always thinking in terms of another woman. So if a man wants to be pegged by his wife, is he still straight?
So I was talking about look. I was talking to my homeboy about this day for life. I was talking to him on the phone because I told him this subject matter was coming up, and so I'm like, look, for me, would I question the dude? I'm gonna be like, hey man, boy, I'm like, boy, you on the line? I'm like, boy, you because you're still engaging with what you're engaging with a woman. Now you're choosing to be dominated in a fashion that I find reprehensible, but at the end of the day, by the definition, you're still participating in heterosexual sex. So I got to be fair to the letter of the law. Now, my brain, when you ask me if that's what that dude doing, I'm like, damn, bro. Okay, I mean, well, your business is your business, and I ain't shaming you, but we ain't the same. See, we different. So I'm strict. you lenient, if nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So whatever, because at the end of the day, you know, we all have the same erogenous zones 99% of the way. So if you like your prostate teased by your old lady, and by all means, hey, it's still a woman that's doing it, bro. I ain't gonna shame. I ain't gonna say nothing to you about it. You can don't come try to tell me, hey, bro, you need to try. Nah, bro, I'm good. I'm good on that. So, but it's question. It's one of those things that's like, but why, bro? Why?
But I don't think it should be questionable because again, it's still engaging with another woman. But a lot of people will be like, oh, well, if you'll let your girl do that, or you'll let a man do it. The same way two mouths can be whatever.
Yeah. No, real talk.
That's why I think you if a woman is involved and that's it's still straight. It don't matter what you do.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Yeah, no. By the definition, by the letter of the law, logically, literally being as black and white as possible. Yes, technically, he's still operating in the realm of straight. But you got to keep an eye on it. You got to keep an eye on him, boy. because okay. So hold on, wait. Let's flip it another way. No woman involved. He got a little baby arm that he play with on his own. What you call that? Huh? He got his own little shindig. He got his own little thing that he take care. Yeah.
That would depend on what is the the realm of fantasy involved. Like, is he wishing that item to be wielded by a woman or a man? Because you do have men who like transsexual women because they like the pleasure of penetration, but they like women.
See, that's not straight. See that. See,
because that's not. I agree. That's not straight.
So that ain't straight.
That's definitely more. I don't even know if I consider that bisexual.
Hold on. That's Quincy. Hold on. Quincy first said he's the master of his domain. he said, ain't nobody gonna take it from me. I take it from myself.
I mean, what did you call what's the dude, Mr. Hands? Oh, you remember the Mr. Hands fiasco?
Who, Mr. Hands?
You don't remember that from like the early 2000s? The guy with the horse, and he died.
Oh, that nigga that just recently resurfaced.
Yeah, it resurfaced recently. Did we knock him off? We surprised him so bad we knocked him off the street.
That nigga
He had to go log off for a second, like
That nigga that was having an affair with Seabiscuit was on something else.
that I'm not. I want to jump back to the video. I do want to jump back to the video,
okay.
So the erotic thing. So he tried to say a man's erotic attraction and his sexual attraction can be different, bruh. They can be different, but if they different,
well, they can't.
And when you start involving men in your erotic attraction, you are no longer straight. That's
now that I can agree with.
We're not. I don't got time to define what's gay and all this other stuff. We just defining straight. We just defining that one. That's the only one we can define. The community, y'all can define the rest.
And attraction to men.
So they're attracted to the act, so the sex act. And so when I wrote my book, I put the most popular things I see in my office, which are a lot of straight men enjoy receiving anal sex. And they'd love to have their wife put a strap-on and peg him. But if they talk to her about it, she sees it as gay, or he's too afraid and too ashamed to tell her because he's worried. So he goes and finds other men to have transactional, non-committal, sometimes not even names are being said. It's just, let's get this over with and I'm done. And it satisfies something inside of them that isn't the attraction to the man, but to the physical experience he had.
Right, so it's more to the sensation in that case, right? Somebody likes the stimulation of that kind of anal play.
That we just talked about
that. So because he says, "Hey, bruh, you don't know me. I don't know you.
No, not
just
that.
Just put it where you got to put it. I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm gonna leave." So that means he's not.
No. What he was saying was the reason a lot of these men end up doing that is because they actually want to with their wives, but their wives are judgmental about it, so they end up going the extreme route. That makes sense.
So if you ain't gonna do it, I'm gonna get a man to do it.
I mean, it's the same way side pieces come around.
So here's my thing though. You still get some pleasure out of the idea and the act of the man doing it, even though that's your last resort. You do. There has to be some joy.
The pleasure is out of the penetration itself. It doesn't matter who's the penetrator. In this example they're giving, they're just after the penetration. The penetrator could be a robot for all they care. They just want to be penetrated.
But the moment you was okay with it being a man, at that point you no longer became straight. You became a man that enjoys being penetrated, and that's by something other than a woman, which makes you no longer straight.
No,
where you were willing. Okay, maybe you don't enjoy it, but you willingly allowed it. It didn't get taken. You got up. You said you said, man, my wife, she ain't gonna do that. Damn, my wife that made it clear that this just ain't something she gonna roll with. Shit, I know Dwight. Dwight said he nasty, but not like gay. And so if I just hit him up in his DM, he'll ride me like a you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna get him to do it. So I'm gonna get him to do it because that's all I can do. So you do it at that moment, you are no longer straight. You're something other than. We got to find a term. LGBTQ community, can y'all please find a term? Can y'all please find a term to where they can be comfortable with whatever they want to engage in with men that is sexually? Because if it was a robot,
that's where the conundrum comes in for me. They are not seeking the man because it's a man, which is an attraction thing. They are seeking anal penetration. And they know that men penetrate anally. That's not the same thing as seeking men. That's seeking anal penetration.
See what he could have done. Let me tell you the issue. there is in this day and age, there is a large community of women who got their hands raised, who will strap you down, boy. There's some women out here that is willing to bust you open, boy. They willing to treat you like they willing to treat you like a mail. They willing to treat you like a mailbox, boy. They will open it up and put whatever you want inside, boy, so you can get a woman to do it. You can get a woman to do it.
So it's not easy to find those women. Those
women. I guarantee you can go right now. If a dude,
there's no app for that.
You can. I guarantee you, there's probably an app for it. Not only is there an app for it, there's a private Facebook group somewhere for it. I guarantee you, somewhere you can anonymously go into any forum and say, "I'm a guy. This is what I'm looking for." You're gonna have women beating down your door for that.
FetLife has that, but a lot of people don't know about FetLife.
Ain't no excuses. With everything that people can Google, the moment you decide to get with a man, you have foregoed all those other options. And so maybe 1,000 years ago, 100 years ago, I say, all right, these things ain't available. In this day and age, you can get a woman to do to you anything you want, especially if you got a little bit of money. Hell, it's women that will do it for free. It's women that will do it for free. You seen these videos with you seen these men in these videos getting their balls stepped on and getting hit with paddles, and like a woman will do. There's women that like to degrade men, and so hey, and go get this woman to handle you, bro. There's no excuses. Like really, it's really not. But I'm gonna go ahead and hit the play button. Hit the play button. Sam, Frank.
This topic so long.
And they feel safe.
We gotta represent
men play in that space with them, then bringing it to their partner, or maybe they felt humiliated with their partner, or like it might be a power shift that they're not ready for if they are partnered with a woman, because for a lot of people they overcouple the ideas of topping and bottoming with power in their relationship.
Absolutely true. And a lot of the guys, some of them are just into maybe they can be a little bit more, feel a little bit more desired, because if they hook up with gay men are gonna, talk about how nice they look and how big they are or whatever. And they might be able to be a little bit more verbal aggressive than they would want to ever be with a woman, or a woman would not want, even in a consensual exchange. So there's some more freedom they get, or maybe they want to just feel, like you said, submissive, and they can't go there with their female partners.
Yeah. What are some of the other more common scenarios where you see straight men hooking up with men?
The most common, I wrote 2 chapters on it, and probably because we're therapists, we see most of this. I'm sure you've seen this, where they've been traumatized by a male perpetrator in childhood. So I call it, we talk about trauma reenactment, returning to the scene of the sexual crime. So they're reenacting, they're not sexual urges, they're trauma urges. They've gotten eroticized, and the man is completely unhappy with what he's doing. It's not a satisfactory experience. Whereas with the gay or bi men, they come back and they have all kinds of shame and all kinds of guilt, but during the act, they have all kinds of fun. That's not necessarily the case for men who've been sexually abused.
So, in fairness, now we discuss trauma a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That area where anybody is essentially returning to the scene of the crime of their trauma, that part right there, I don't judge that. If that's the case, by all means, you got some other stuff going on. But so I like to separate that from the free lifestyle, free loving, free living. I want to do what the hell I want. I like to separate that from a trauma response. So I would say, yeah, if a dude he had that traumatic experience and hasn't healed from it to learn how to cope with it, so he still in some way partakes in it. I don't get it because I haven't experienced it, but that's a whole different thing from homeboy just deciding I'm gonna have bro sex.
That's the only one that I can know. That's the only scenario I can yield to, because that literally is a psychological response to something that happened that was out of your control at one point. And so now you're just responding to it. But all this other mess they talking about, nah. You can sit here and tell me that you just want to be, no, nigga. You ain't finna run back over here talking about you straight. Because you ain't finna muddy the water over here, nigga.
Muddy being the operative word. Being the operative word.
So are you saying though that if they want anal penetration, that makes them gay?
You ask me, am I saying that?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Even if it's by a woman.
Yes.
No, Frank.
Hey, I'm more liberal. Hey, I'm gonna let people have that. I'm gonna let people judge that as they see fit. I stick to the literal term. Sex with the opposite sex is still heterosexual sex. However you want to do it. The moment you involve the same sex, that's when I start to Quincy Frierson, bro sex is a thing. So bro sex is a thing that came up a couple of years ago. He said is bro sex a thing? Yeah, because dudes started basically straight men started to say, oh, it's not an issue that I have sex with my friend because that's a bro, so it's bro sex. So I would never do it with anybody else. I would only do it with my friend because we need each other to get each other off from time to time. Maybe we going through a dry spell and we just going. I'm gonna give him some head and then he gonna give me some and then. But we just gonna get through this. We gonna get through this dry spell, brother. And then when we get through this dry spell, we gonna go. Yeah, that's considered bro sex.
Ooh, child.
They playing 2K. And it's like, damn, bro, when the last time you got laid? Man, it's been a minute for me. It's been a minute for me too. Shit, bro. I mean, if you ain't gonna tell nobody, I ain't gonna tell nobody. I'll just I mean, whatever. What's the noise? What's that little noise? Whatever. That's what they just go.
Now
that's what friend does for. Remember that Martin stand up.
You see what happened when nigga puff pass? That's how it started.
I mean, puffing, and passing is like kissing.
Do I need to go find the scene from that Martin stand up? Remember Martin did that stand up some years ago where he remember it wasn't Run Tell That, it was You So Crazy where he did the thing where he was smoking joint. Man, I got something I want to tell you. Man, go ahead and spill it, man. Tell me what's on your mind, man. You sure, man? Man, can I suck your dick? You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. If you remember Run Tell That. I mean, not Run Tell That, but it was other one. So there have been those moments. That's why you don't smoke. Y'all smokers out there. I don't know. Frank said y'all smokers. Frank said y'all weed smokers. Y'all got some questionable. Y'all might have had some questionable moments, man.
And they don't call it gateway drug for nothing.
Wow. I subscribe to the notion, like you, Manuel. If the act is with a woman, it's still straight for me.
Yeah,
You just have some men who want to be in a submissive position by a woman, and
woman
anal is usually the way they get that fix.
Man, he better let her put him in the figure four.
Right, choke me out.
That's it. As far as it goes.
Some of them like that too. You got dudes who will date larger women for those types of things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it Rule 34, Rule 43, one of them?
I'm gonna hit play again.
Straight men who are sexually abused, or
the straight men? Yeah, sorry, no, the straight men who've been sexually abused, when they're with these other men, they can even feel that they're doing something that is not aligned with who they are.
Right. I'm really glad that you brought that up, because there are so many men who experience sexual abuse at the hands of other men, and they often will struggle with ideas about what that means in relationship to their sexual orientation. And they may have even been told things by the perpetrator that would give them the impression that their sexual orientation is different than how they understand it to be. And that's why they were chosen for victimization. So it's really important to differentiate what is behavior based on pleasure or convenience or erotic orientation versus trauma that is compelled by a repetition or a reenactment of old trauma in the past.
Absolutely. And another reason a lot of guys will talk about being sexual with other men is money. The exchange of money, getting paid turns them on. I've had several clients tell me that they're cash sexual, so that's the new term for them, right? And they would love it if better if a woman would pay them. And some women do that, but most guys will pay other guys to have an exchange. And so that's the turn on. They have an erection from the money.
That's really fascinating and makes.
Okay.
See, this is when they take it too far. So, so this explains Diddy. This explains a lot of situations in Hollywood, I guess. I mean, hey, to get put on, what you willing to do? What are you willing to do to get this record deal? What are you willing to do to get this 10 grand? What are you willing to do? And nah, bro, no, cash don't turn me on. Cash don't. There's no amount of cash where I'm going to participate in something with a man. Can't do it. Can't do it. I won't be able to afford the therapy. After I do it, I'm gonna need therapy after I participate in that. So, and I can't afford that. There's not enough therapy. Cash. They do it for the cash. So that makes it so that absolves you a little bit.
I mean, we do have. Go ahead, Frank. I ain't got it.
I don't got nothing else.
All right, so I'm not gonna belabor this topic. I'm gonna save y'all from this one. The consensus is if you participating in some sex other than sex with a woman, for the most part, I think me and Sheffy will outvote you on this one. Sam said being penetrated. Frank said being penetrated ain't gonna work. Me and Sheffy, we vote. We say, hey, as long as you getting in with a woman, you okay. Hey, just keep it with a biological woman, and we're gonna let you claim to be straight. The moment, I don't care what your erotic code is, your cash code, whatever it is, the moment you involve another man, you something other than straight. That's all I gotta say. I ain't saying you're gay. I ain't saying you're bi. I ain't saying you're queer. I ain't saying you're interested. I'm saying you're something other than straight. Yeah, the straight community gets to determine what straight is.
Simple as that.